guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Success Okani and you're welcome. Today I want to continue from where I stopped on the last video, where I was talking about the things that we deal with as adults. And I think that in the last video we stopped at I'm not sure the number, but I'm just going to start from the point. I think we stopped at disappointments. Yes, that was where we stopped. So I have about 10 more 10 more points, 10 more things that we deal with as adults. And if you didn't watch the previous video, which was the beginning of this topic, I think you should go back to watch it. So I'm going to try to link the I hope I'm able to do that. I hope I'm able to link, I'm allowed to do that, because I think you have to go through sort of verification before you can do that. And I think I tried to do that, the last time and it didn't work. So I'll try to see if it works now and link the video in the description. But let's continue. In the last one we talked about things like major decision making, bearing the consequences of your decisions and then your actions, anxiety, sense of purpose. Sorry, I'm looking down. I'm trying to get these points from my device. I listed them in this other device, so I'm trying to check it, to remind myself the points I listed down. So sense of purpose, the responsibility of finding your purpose. We talked about that. Paying of bills, fear of the unknown, consequences of your decisions. Okay, I think we already talked about that. Then work, transitions, career, marriage, childbirth, career change, and all of that. Disappointments, and that was where we stopped. So in this one, I'm going to pick it up from effective time management. Effective time management is so important as an adult, because right now your time is so important. I usually tell myself that the more I grow, the more important my time is to me. So you can't waste my time and I'll be happy with you, no. And I don't like to waste my time either. So I've noticed how important time is for me as an adult. Time is literally not just money, but of very high importance. So if you waste time, or you allow your time to be wasted, you're going to be doing yourself a lot of disservice. So your time is super important to you as an adult. It's no longer like when you're a child. Your time was not as important as it is now. Yes, so that's very important. So you need to know how to effectively manage your time, effectively use your time, effectively do things, to see that your time is used properly. Now let's move to the next on this list. The next one is caring for your loved ones in many aspects. So you're going to need to care for loved ones in different aspects, right? In care, in finance, as much as you can, no pressure. Don't put unnecessary pressure on yourself, but as much as you can, really try as much as possible to care for loved ones the way you can, emotionally, financially, and different other ways that you can, because now you're no longer a child. And I think that your loved ones deserve, some care and, efforts from you, really. But like I said, don't put too much pressure on yourself. You can't give what you do not have. You can't give from an empty place. So make sure that you are also nourished. And I'm not even talking money alone right now. I'm talking, your well-being. Make sure that in every area you are also good, and so that you can give well, you can give properly, right? So care for yourself even while you see how to care for others. But as an adult, I feel like your loved ones deserve good things from you. Your loved ones deserve care, love, efforts from you. I really think so, yes. So that's one thing that you're going to see as an adult. Now, another one is seeing our parents' age. This one is a thing. Like, as a child now, you see your parents as, people that you think your parents can never age. You just saw your parents as, because you were a child, you saw them as very young and all of that. And then as you begin to grow, as you begin to become an adult, you start to see them age, and you're like, it's sometimes it comes as a shock. Sometimes you're like, okay. You remember those times when they were way younger, and you see them now, you're like, I wish they don't. Yes, old age is a blessing, but you just wish they could be young so that they can just stay and stay and stay and stay and stay. But the reality of things is that everyone grows, everyone ages, so they have to age. Okay, let's move on to the next one. The next one is seeing former children all grown. It's kind of similar to what I talked about the last time, but this one is now people that you saw as children, probably as babies, like people that you probably carried when they were born. You knew them as kids. They now become adults. They now become grown. You know, and I mean, you're like, is it not this child I saw when she was a baby, or this boy I saw when he was a baby? You just see them all grown, and they are actually becoming adults as well. It's one thing that you see as an adult. Let's move on. Next one is waiting seasons. Waiting seasons. My goodness. It's one thing that you most likely would experience as an adult. Having to wait on certain things. For me, 2022 was a waiting year. And I'm not saying that I've not had to wait for other things since then, but still 2022, it was such a waiting year for me. And my goodness, waiting is not easy, but it's something that comes with growing up. Waiting is something that you're going to have to experience, or that I don't want to say, oh, everybody must experience it, but I feel like as humans, there'll be waiting seasons, right? And you most likely would experience one or two or more, depending on your life's journey. So for me, like I said, 2022 was such a waiting year for me, and it wasn't easy. Waiting is not an easy thing, I must say. I experienced it not once, and I know that it's not easy, but one thing I usually say is that when you have to wait for something, especially when you're waiting on God for something, trust me, you're going to God is going to, I say God compensates you for those periods where you had to wait. So it's not a waste. If you waited on God for something, or you're waiting on God for something, it's not a waste. It's going to come together real good for you. But the point is that as adults, as adults, you probably would have to wait, for certain things or on certain things. So yes, waiting seasons is one thing that we experience as adults. Another thing is breakups. Breakups. And breakups could be friendships, could be relationships, romantic relationships. It could be anything, but the thing is breakups, right? So it's something that you likely would experience as an adult. It might be breakups in romantic relationships. I'm not praying that you have to experience that, but it's something that might come. Breakups in romantic relationships, breakup in friendships. It's not only romantic relationships that experience breakups, even friendships, like platonic friendships, experience breakups as well. So it's something that you may experience as an adult. The next thing on my list is making and managing finances. Yes, fine, we already talked about working, paying off bills and all, but now the exact point here is that you're going to have to make money, you're going to have to manage money. It's one thing to make, it's another thing to manage. If you make without managing properly, you're going to have yourself to blame. It's not going to turn out very well. So you need to know how to make money and also how to manage money. And I think I can also chip in that as an adult, you also need to know how to make money different ways. And what I mean by that is having multiple streams of income, because you cannot depend on just one stream of income. Even if that one stream of income is very good, I feel like it's good to have more than one, depending on how many you want to have, maybe two or more. But I feel like having just one is not very advisable. It's not very advisable. That's my opinion anyway. So let's move on to the next thing on the list. The next thing is investment decisions. I think this can be tied to the last point, but then apart from making and managing money, you also need to know how to make good investment decisions. First of all, you need to know the importance of investments and also the kinds of investments that you should make. It's not every investment out there that you just go and put your money in. Some might not even be bad, but they are just not good for you. And some are outrightly bad, like they are not investments that you should even put your money in because they will not even work, right? So you need to know investments that are good and investments that are good for you. Yes, so that you don't make poor financial decisions that just put you in a very bad place. The next one is living alone. I wrote on Twitter the other day, I think I was quoting a tweet, and I said that living alone is something that I advise every adult to experience at least once in their life. It doesn't have to be for too long, it doesn't have to be for too short, for as long as you can live alone. I feel like you need to, you know, experience that before you probably get married or go live with someone or all of that stuff. I really think that living alone is going to do you a great good. I presently live alone and trust me, I enjoy it. And it's not because if I live with people or I live with a roommate or I live go home to live or I do this or I do that, there's anything bad in it. No, I love living with my people. Like I mean friends, my family, my dad, and all of that. The other day I was saying something. I said, "Oh my goodness, I miss my dad," because I know how my dad cares for me. Really does. Right, my dad cares so much for me, so much. And something was going on. And I'm like, oh my goodness, I miss my dad. I just wished I was at home at that point in time. But the reality right now is that I live alone, and I think it's really helping me to connect more with myself. I love that at this stage of my life I'm living alone because I think that is something that every adult should experience at least once in their life because it just helps you connect more with yourself. You can, you know, that connection, that deeper connection with yourself is going to spread and do a lot of other areas in your life so much good. Trust me, you know. I'm going to talk separately on living alone. So I think it's a different topic, but like I said, it's something that but even aside me giving it as an advice, I think it's something that many adults also experience because sometimes you have to work in places where you're living alone. For instance, you work in a place far away from your family house or something, you have to get a place and stay alone. But if you're not even in that situation, I still advise that you try to see that you live alone at least once in your life. At least, and that is at least. And when I say once in your life, like I don't know, everybody has different timings, so at least once, or at least for some time in your life. How short or how long it takes depends on you and your life, but at least for some time. The next thing is, okay, I think I have two more to go. Okay, living with someone else. Yeah, that's another thing. I mean, as an adult, if you want to get married, because not everybody wants to get married, but if you want to get married, you would have to deal with, in fact, before marriage, you may have to, maybe you have a flatmate or you're just living with people, maybe you go for one camp experience, or you're maybe living with parents, or you're living with your siblings, or you're living with friends, maybe you guys are paying rent together or something. You just have to understand and know how to live with people and live with them well, even your neighbors. Like, it doesn't even have to be living with people in the same space, like in the same room and same parlor and all of that. It says living room. It doesn't even have to be living in the same apartment. Like, it could just be neighbors. So you need to know how to live with people and live with people well. I'm not saying be nice, like, so that you'll be stepping on your toes, or you want to pretend that you're one nice. No, that's not it. But just know how to live with people and live with them correctly, like live with them well, right? So that is also there. And then if you want to get married and you get married, you need to know how to live with, your spouse, your children, live with them well. You might say, oh, it's automatic. Yes, it might be, but at the same time, knowing how to live with people will help. I believe so. So, because you guys are two different people. I thought to add that. Anyway, the next one and the last one I have on this list is worrying about the future. I think I touched that a bit when I talked about anxiety, but I'm not sure because that was in the last video. But as a last point here, one thing that you're going to deal with as an adult is, or maybe one thing that you may deal with as an adult is worrying about the future, because I mean, now you are a proper adult and you're taking charge of your life, and you want to be sure that the future is good. You want to be sure that the future is, comfortable for you. You want to be sure that the future is better than what you're experiencing right now. So there might be that worry about, oh, what does the future hold? How is the future going to be like, and all. And these are valid worries. You're a human being with feelings, and you want to be sure and certain that, okay, the future is better and all of that. So it's, but then, like I said in the last video, don't let things like this bring you down, or start to give you a headache, or start to make you, all of that. When the worry comes, which is normal, try to see how to push it out, and instead channel that worry into, better plans and all of that. And trust me, there's only so much you can control. So what you can control right now is the things that you're doing right now to be sure that your future is good. You can't go to the future and control it because you're not there. The only person who has control over the future is God, right? So what you can do, what you have control over now, or what you have control over is now, right? So you have to take charge of the things that you're doing. What are the things you're doing right now to see that your future is better? The efforts you're putting in, the time and energy and all of that, the decisions you're making to see that your future is better. So those are the things you can control. You can't control the future. You can pray for the future, work towards the future and all, but you can't control it. You just need to see that you're doing your own best right now for it and hand the rest over to God, right? Yeah, so these are some of the things that you get to, or we get to deal with as adults. Let me drop this, please. These are some of the things that we get to. I need to face the camera. These are some of the things that we get to deal with as adults, right? There are more. I know there are more, but these are the things I have on this list. Maybe if I see or I get more points, like if more points come to my head and they are quite a number, I could make a part 3 of this topic. But for now, this is all I have on this topic. So if there are other things that we deal with as adults that I did not mention in both the first video and this video, please let me know. You can put it in the comment section so that I probably will talk about it, or others can just see it. You can also expatiate so that others understand what you're talking about and all of that. But please share with me your opinions on this topic. Maybe from the points I've listed, there was something that hit you and all of that. You can put it in the comments, or there are other points you feel should be included in a topic such as this that were not included. You can also put those points, and let's see. Alright guys, see you in the next video. Please don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Don't forget to like this video. Don't forget to comment, and don't forget again to subscribe. It's very important. Please subscribe if you enjoyed this video or previous videos. Right, thank you so much for watching. See you in the next video. Bye.